I finally made my mind up on the main event of UFC Paris, which is happening this Saturday. But before that, I wanted to talk about this matchup. This is probably the most well rounded, evenly matched fight in recent history. Both guys are modern MMA fighters, which means they're big for the division. They're both very technical, well rounded in their own little areas. Their reach is identical. Imavov is a little bit taller, but he stands a little more squat. So in the fight, I feel like the height wouldn't really matter. Kyle's a little more, he's a little more straight with his stance. They're very evenly matched up here. Their skills are kind of rounded out in a way where they're gonna be super evenly matched up in this fight, but they have their own little niche advantages. Caio Borralho, he's got the jiu-jitsu advantage. He's more submission savvy. He's got a slightly better cardio game, and I think he game plans a little bit better. Whereas Imavov, I think, has a more power. He has more accuracy with his boxing, and that's kind of the standout of Imavov's game. His clinch striking and his boxing. He's super good in the pocket, and I do think he's got a lot more power. Not a lot more, a good a bit more power than Barralho. And I was really back and forth on this, but honestly, I think I gotta go with Imavov. I think it's weird that he's an underdog. He's beaten better competition, even though those wins are not as good. If you put Borralho and Imavov's wins side to side, yes, Imavov has that Izzy win, which is his best win. And he's got the knockout over Cannonier. So on paper, you're like, oh, this guy's beating way better guys. But if you look at the context of the fights, Izzy is coming off, a war. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, and he's aged. He's taking so much damage. I'm not gonna say he looked bad because he looked great in that Imavov fight, but he's just not the prime Izzy, the same kind of durability and speed he used to have. And Imavov capitalized off that perfectly. He did amazing. And that Cannonier fight, I thought Cannonier was winning up until that finishing sequence, which was a really weak finishing sequence. It's a very sketch finish, whereas I feel like Braulio showed that he showed himself a lot better in that Cannonier fight. He won the early rounds and he stole the last round. He really should have gotten the Tico against Cannonier in that 5th round. Now, I do think Imavov would have won the fight off of that momentum shift in the Cannonier fight anyways, if not TKO'd him legitimately anyways. But you gotta say like it is, okay? Caio Borralho's win over Cannonier is more impressive, even though there is that asterisk of, oh yeah, he is coming off that Imavov loss. So that kind of weighs each other out. But on to the specifics, there's not really a specific area that each guy is so advantageous in. Maybe in the pocket, but I would really think Barralho isn't gonna go into this fight thinking, yeah, I'm gonna train in the pocket with Imavov. I don't think that would be his game plan here. And I don't think he will be able to take advantage of the jiu-jitsu advantage in this fight. Barralho's got good jiu-jitsu, but his wrestling is not there. Imavov has definitely better wrestling and anti-wrestling. I would say that Barralho's wrestling is more specific focus, where he's worked on anti-grappling in an MMA sense, so he worked on specific parts of it, whereas his wrestling is something that he's still brushing up on. Whereas I feel like Imavov is the overall better wrestler. I feel like he's done more wrestling training, and overall, I gotta go with Imavov. I understand that this fight could go to Barralho, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick Barralho here. I think he can slow the pace of the fight down. I think he can keep it technical, stick and move, and when Imavov isn't as fresh, as explosive, he can go in and win the later rounds more decisively. That's what Barralho needs to do to win. But I feel like Imavov just wouldn't let him do that. Imavov is very, 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 he's technical. And sometimes he will let that fight get away from him a little bit, where he's kind of losing on points, where he's leaving it a little too close. And the Cannonier fight is a great example of that. And in the Allen fight for Imavov, it was a little close. But think about how that fight was, right? Allen got a takedown that was kind of lucky and landed in side control. That got him that round. And even though I don't think Allen is on the same level as Barralho, I feel like Barralho, if Barralho fought Allen, he would win 50-45 or 30-27. Allen is well-rounded in a way that Barralho isn't. Allen has the takedown threat. And on the feet, Allen is very technical as well. Whereas I feel like Barralho hasn't shown me that many impressive things on the feet. He's really just a 1-2 from both stances. He has a really good jab, but that's really about it in his game. And I just don't see him having enough tools to keep Imavov off of him. I think when it comes down to it, they're going to stick and move, play that outside foot battle. But Imavov is just going to be able to land a little more when he gets Barralho against that fence. He's going to be able to do a little more damage. I really don't see a finish from each guy. I don't think that each guy has that much advantage over each other. It's really evenly matched up. But honestly, even though I think Imavov is going to win this fight by decision, that's my pick, by the way, I think Barralho is a tougher matchup for Hamza. I think Barralho is a sneakily, overlooked tough matchup for Chimaev. He has solid cardio. He's very well-rounded. He has a decent anti-wrestling game, and he has very good grappling. He has very good jiu-jitsu. And I would say he's, second on the list of toughest contenders for Chimaev. First being Hernandez, of course. And, yeah, man, I feel like Imavov will be able to get this done, especially in his hometown. But what I can say is I believe that Barralho is a little more trustworthy. He's able to stay calm under fire. He's able to stick by a game plan. But Imavov has that home field advantage. He does. And he does fight a little bit emotional at times, I feel like. But, again, I feel like Imavov is the improving fighter. He's improving a lot more than Barralho, in my opinion. Who knows what Barralho's been doing? Definitely he should be improving, but Imavov has just stacked up more activity. He's shown improvement in each fight, and I just got to go with the underdog. And I don't even understand how Imavov is the underdog in this situation. How do you, even on paper, I don't see how he's an underdog. And there's not so many technical deficiencies and holes that Barralho can exploit where I'm like, Barralho's got this. So overall, I got to go with Imavov by decision. And I'm going to go through the rest of the card. I already picked Huffy by second round finish. Paul Craig is not winning this fight. Modestas Bukauskas is probably by decision or a KO on the feet. Mason Jones by decision here. This one I'm keeping my eyes on. Pitbull versus Keita. People are going Pitbull. I really don't know enough, so I'm not gonna make a pick. Marcin Tybura versus Delija. I gotta go with Tybura. Harry Hardwick versus Kyle Fernandez is a sneakily good fight, but I gotta go with Fernandez. And Andreas Gustafsson versus Renat. I think this is where Renat's fluke streak ends. I think this is his end here. Andreas Gustafsson, I think, is a very bad matchup for him. I don't know why he's facing the left. He should be facing the right. This is kind of weird. Like, what the fuck? But Gustafsson is such a bad matchup for Renat, where he's so big, he's huge for the division, and his wrestling is decent. Renat's gonna just waste a lot of energy trying to take down Andreas. And I feel like Andreas will be able to come on strong and bully Renat. I can see a third round TKO from Andreas. And yeah, I don't care about the rest of these fights. Let me know what y'all think about my prediction for UFC Paris, especially the main event. Let me know what y'all think of this fight. Leave a like, subscribe, follow me on X, and yeah, man, I'll catch y'all at the next one.